Oh my gosh. We are live? We are live! We are live, we are live, we are live. I'm so excited. Why does it say connected to chat? We are live. Okay. I don't know how any of this works, but can I reply to chat? Why would I want to reply to chat when I can just talk to chat? Anyways, this is me. This is my sewing room. I am going to do it this way. I don't know how this works. You know what? This is our first video. First two videos did not end up working, so this is our first one, and we're just going to let it be messy. I'm going to give you a tour of my studio to start with, and then we're going to dive right in, okay? So my studio is downstairs. It is kind of dirty. I need to plug in my iron. Hold on. We only have one outlet, so I need to bring the extension cord all the way over here. Sorry, this is a horrible live. Give me a second. There we go. I need to plug in my iron. Okay. Welcome to my tour of the studio. So this is all my inventory over here, hung up on the wall, all the stuff that I've already made. Today we're going to learn how to make some hats. That is just my winter coats, just doing their own thing. This is where I cut all of my stuff, and this is the table I use for vending as well. It's just really nice because you can use a rotary tool on it. That over here is where I iron things, and this is my light. This is all of my crazy chaotic fabric that we need to get through. I need to get through it. I want it out of here. This is just, thread and things and stuff. And then I have all of my scraps organized. Black and white. I can't read that. Yellow and brown and beige and red and orange and pink and purple. And then there's green. And then there's just this that must have fallen down. We're going to shove it right there. We got like green and blue. That is a pile of stuff I was looking through. But yeah, this is like all organized like pink and red and yellow and orange and brown and beige and black and gray and white. And this is a random of like blue and green and black and like whatever I can't fit over here. And then that is just like also random. And then this is more black. This is like blankets and stuff. Okay, and then that's my printer. And this is like the pile of stuff that I need to sew for myself. Okay, and then this is all of kind of my patterns that I already have cut out that I haven't made into anything. So, and this is a mirror. So, let's get started. All right, we are going to learn today. Let me flip this around. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kidding. Alright, so I tried to set this up so that you could see what I'm doing. Let me get it set up. Hold on. Just give me like un momento. Perfecto! Okay. Alrighty. Let's get started. I'm going to teach you how to make... I'm going to teach you how to make some hats. We're going to start with one, and then we're probably going to just like see how long that took. I do have some stuff to do today before work, and we're just going with the flow. So we are going to start with probably the easiest one and go from there. There's three different there's like roughly 4 different hats that I like to know how to make. There is more different hats, but these are like the probably most popular ones that I make. So we have a cat. Oh my gosh, chaos is here. So this is a cat hat. Most of everything I make is reversible. Cat hat. This is probably the easiest one to make. So we're gonna start with that one. Cute little cat hat. I feel like a Fortnite character when I put this one on, just because of the green. And then the second one would be a reversible bucket hat. Most things I make are reversible because most hats need a lining in them, and to me it's just easier to just make it reversible, because if there's going to be an inside, might as well make it a functional inside, you know what I'm saying? This is like a larger brimmed bucket hat, so that's adjustable. The third one is going to be a tulip hat, of course reversible. See how it has the 6 different panels versus like the other, the 3 panels, the like 3 different, these are like layers and this is like panels. Of course these are reversible. And then the fourth hat that I really like to make, well actually this is the first time I ever made it. I have a bunch of other hats that I do know how to make, like I said, but so this is, what is this called? A Baker Boy hat, I think. I don't have like a rough, a hard brim. I just have a soft brim. And this has 6 different panels as well, I believe. And then these are also reversible. My cat is down here. I was like, what is she doing? I like the green side the best. Okay, but we are going to start with the cat hat. Super easy to make. I already have some things cut out. Where is my cat hat stencil? Oh, no. Oh, no. And then, yeah, in this drawer is where I keep all my stencils. Oh, no. I thought I took it out yesterday when I thought I was going to do a live. Where have you been? Took me a little bit to figure out how to make this stencil. It's not super hard. Just take an 8x11 like normal printer piece of paper and fold it in half. So this is, I'll give you the dimensions. And I'll give you a second to cut it out if that's what you want to do or whatever. I also will, when we make the other hats, I'll also give you like the, what is it called? The pattern that I use for those as well. Oh my gosh, my eyeball. There's something in it. It's probably hair. Okay. So this is, and I usually like take the pattern and I'll make it either bigger or smaller. Like when I cut it out, you'll see, I'll show you. So this is 11 on the bottom, 11 on the bottom. And the height is just about 8. So it's like 7 7/8. But I would say the ear, because the ear goes a little higher than the middle, is 8. So just take that 11. Here. Come on. Come on. 11 by 8. Let's just double check that that's correct. 11 by 8.5. Okay, so if you got a lot of hair and you got a lot of head, you can do it by 8.5. So what I'm gonna do is fold it in half. Just take a piece of paper, fold it in half. And as you can see, it's basically a rectangle. It's just got a little bit of a whoosh, whatever you would call that. Where are my scissors? Oh no, where are my scissors? I don't need this up here. Oh no! Where are they? Oh, there they are. Okay. And you are going to Because this one's 8.5. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna mark this, but you can just like measure 8.5. I'm also doing this very like, I don't know how competent y'all are. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this very beginner friendly. This is a very beginner hat. So I'm gonna measure 8 inches. Take a little pen. Oh my gosh, come on. And then we'll go ahead and cut that off at the 8 inches. And then, so this I did about, I started the curve of the hat about 4 inches high. So about half of that 8. So you can go ahead and just like fold that 8 in half. Perfect. And then for the like ear, I did it about, I'd say like 2.5 inches. So we can mark the 2.5 inches. If I'm not talking loud enough, let me know, because I am someone who just like talks to themselves often. And so I'm not used to like actually being loud. Okay. So we've got the halfway mark and we've got the 2-inch mark right here. So we are going to just bring it down like, I don't know, like 1/8 of an inch, not much. And then at that 2-inch mark, we're gonna just curve it up. See what I did there? You see how I did that? You see what I did right there? Okay, and now where it's folded, you're gonna start a little bit lower than the fold so that it kind of like gradually goes in. And it's gonna go in like 1/8 of an inch. Okay, sorry. When the neighbors go up the stairs, it sounds like somebody's walking upstairs in my apartment. Okay, and then you're gonna gradually go out and kind of make a point. Let's compare. There's a mosquito down here. How long have you been down here? This, I feel like this hump needs to be a little bit straighter. Like more gradual. And this I wanted to go in just a little bit more at that 4-inch. And then another little like gradual out. Perfect. I think that looks good. So when you open it up, bam. Is that what it looks like? Yeah. So it will be like a little bit higher in the middle. It's kind of just like where your head goes. So I don't need that. Don't need that at all. I don't know what to do with this. My cat is like looking up like someone's in my house. Who's in my house? You get out of my house. Okay. So what you're gonna need is 2 of these for the inside, 2 of these for the outside. So whatever fabric you want to use, I already have a couple things cut out. So I'm just gonna use those. I kind of want to use these ones though. I think this is just an extra one. I want Or I'm missing one. I don't know. I kind of want to do this. So one thing to keep in mind is if it's stretchy fabric or not. If it's non-stretchy fabric, you're going to want to cut it a little bit wider. So like when you set it down on the fabric, can you see this? So like when you set it down on the fabric and you go to cut it out, you see how this is a little wider? I did that not because this fabric isn't stretchy, but because this fabric isn't stretchy. It does not move. So I made it a little wider then, and also people have big heads and stuff, so you know what's funny is I didn't cut off the bottom of this. I just folded it in half. So what we're going to do is we're going to line these up since they belong together, or at least I want them to belong together. I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to adjust the camera in a second. Second. Okay. So, I'm lining up the ears. This is a little wider. I'm not really worried about it because this side stretches. And then we're going to take my rotary tool. This, yay, I killed it. Oh my gosh, thank God. This side looks a little different than that side, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm just gonna like tuck that in a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. These hats are very forgiving with the cuts. You don't need them to be perfect. Take my scrap. So I'm gonna put it in my giant bucket of scraps. Okay, this side just looks bigger on this side, which is gonna bother me. So we're gonna try to line it up. Hold on. It just looks bigger. I'm just gonna trim this off just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Whatever, that should be fine. You're gonna want with cool. Okay, so I was just checking something. All right, time to sew my babies. Wonderful, wonderful babies. Oh my gosh, come on. Just do what I want you to do. Perfect. This is moving away and I don't like that. Here, maybe I'll flip this around actually. Hi. Oh God. Right. Sure. Alright. Usually would be playing music, but today is chaos. So with this fabric, when you use sweater fabric that has all these holes in it, I like to do a zigzag stitch. The widest zigzag stitch, and then so I'll probably do my zigzag stitch on 6. It can go to 7, but I think I'm just gonna do 6. And then I'm gonna do at 2 length. This doesn't, okay, this does have like a right side and a wrong side. Barely, but I'm gonna assume just which side I like better. So the right sides wear together. Make sure you put your right sides together. And then you're just gonna sew all the way around. Like that. Okay. I wish this was a little higher. Can you see well? Talk to me. Alright. Okay. I think I'm gonna go to 7 actually. And then I'm gonna do a reverse stitch. I don't like that this is white, but you know what? I also don't want to change the thread. So it's kind of maybe hard to see, but like there's this kind of flare at the end. So I'm on the inside of that, if that makes sense. Also, when it comes to tension, my sewing machine I feel like is kind of weird. So I do like the tension between like 5 and 8. Right now it's at like 5.5, 6. If you have a sewing machine where the presser foot goes up and down, if it's thicker fabric, I definitely move the presser foot up. So there's a 3, 2, and 1. You want it to be like at a 2 or like a 2.5, so that the presser foot is higher, so that it's not holding on too much fabric too tight. And then mine can change speed depending on your skill levels. I would do like a middle speed, especially because thicker fabric goes through a little bit slower. So if it goes through a little bit slower, I'll do the length, which is like the length of the stitch, a little bit bigger. So like right now the zigzag is 7. So the way the zigzag is going is the biggest. But then the length of the stitch is like how far the zigzag goes down, if that makes sense. So I'll do that a little bit, like the stitch length a little bit longer, so that it moves through the fabric a little easier when it's thicker fabric. I'm gonna go ahead and do like a back stitch on that ear, just so I can get it exactly where I want it to be. And then I'm gonna put the needle down so that when I move it, it doesn't move the fabric. So then I'm gonna move it, or like angle it, and then I'm just gonna keep going. About partially through, I like to make sure that the ears are lining up. Most people use pins. A lot of people use pins, actually. I don't. I do sometimes, but like when it's just like a square piece of fabric, it's very easy for me to tell if it's lined up or not. Like I don't have a bunch of corners and angles and like 2 totally different fabrics that like don't go together well. Also with this fabric, you want to make sure you are not hooking any of the yarn or like things over that presser foot, because that gets really annoying. So it is nicer to go a little bit slower just to make sure. I did reverse a little bit, and then I went forward a little bit because I reversed too far. So this stuff isn't lining line up the best. So I'm just gonna pull it a little bit and then like move my presser foot in more, and I'll just cut off the excess from the second layer. Sometimes you just gotta trust the process. Make sure that bottom is lining up. Perfect. I'll hold it in my finger while, and with this fabric too, it's nice to like press it as you go into the presser foot. Just make sure you don't get your hand too close. I'm really good at getting my hand as close as I can without ever puncturing my hand with the needle, but I'm not suggesting you do that. And it's totally okay to stop and go and stop and go and stop and go. Like it, with it being a straight line, you want to just like keep going, keep going, keep going. But it's totally okay to just stop and go and stop and go. Do a little reverse stitch, cut it. Hello, Bella. She's like, who the hell are you talking to? So this is what it'll look like. Wow. I might cut off just a little excess of this side. Stella, you're purring. Stella loves to watch me sew. I think it's because my energy is so calm when I'm sewing. Actually, that's a lie. It's not always this calm. Sometimes I'm literally wanting to like scream and cry. Sewing's not always peaches and cream. Okay, so now we're on to the cheetah. So as you can tell, maybe you can't, this side is definitely not the right side. This side is definitely the pretty side. So make sure you have your right sides together. Right sides together. And then when you like, after a while, when you like totally train your brain to put the right sides together, like you'll do like something where you're like, oh, I want the fray out. I want the wrong sides together. That's one of the most aggravating things. It's like you constantly put the right sides together and you're like, no, that's not the vision. Again, people use pins. You can put some pins in a corner of these to keep it together. Do I use pins? No, my friends, I do not. I do not use the pins. I just sew. So this, I'm just gonna do a straight stitch since it's not stretchy. I don't have to worry about too much of like, when you have stretchy fabric, you want to use like a zigzag, or like things that have holes, you want to use a zigzag. It catches more fabric and it allows it to have more stretch and like flexibility so that the thread doesn't like break. But since this doesn't stretch at all and it doesn't have any holes in it, I'm just gonna use a straight stitch. It's easier for me. Gosh, that's going fast. And we're just gonna go all the way around. Again, I'm going to go forward, I'm going to go back a little bit, I'm going to go forward a little bit. I'm going to put my needle down so that when I rotate it, it stays in place. And then I'm going to make sure that this is like lining up. I hope you can see all this. I'll try to like maybe figure out a better angle. I just don't have like a mini tripod to really, you know, do what I need to do. And I'm just starting things without all the equipment I need because why not? I don't need perfection. Also, the biggest thing that I like to say with sewing is do not strive for perfection because beauty is not perfection. And it sounds like I'm trying to be deep and wise, but in reality, it's just like sewing can be a pain in the ass itself with just like no flaws. So when you have flaws in your sewing projects, just just be okay with it. Just know that like it doesn't actually take away from the beauty. Unless like it does, but just know flaws don't equal ugly. Again, I don't know if you can see me holding the ends together, pressing down right here, and then like pressing down with my other fingers right here. This light kind of like makes a contrast so you can't see it. I'll have to, I wish like a live could do multiple angles or something, but you know what, I'm just a beginner with lives, so we're just doing the damn thing. You do a quick little back stitch, go ahead and cut it. And then we're going to flip this one inside out, or right side out. So we're going to flip this one right side out. This is the fun part. We're literally almost done, guys. Like, I'm so excited. So we're going to flip this right side out. Fun, fun, fun. You can try it on if you want, but just wait. Just wait. Actually, if you want, you can try it on just to make sure it's not too big or too small. Mine is perfect. I like it. I like that if it's long enough. Also, play around with your pattern. If you want it long enough so that you can flip it up like this. What does this look like? Kind of looks like I just... What does that look like? I look like I have something on my head. I don't know. I do have something on my head, but it looks like specific. So you can always just like make it longer. You'll probably have to just like tape 2 pieces of paper together to make that, you know, stencil longer. So I don't want to try this one on because it's going to get all of these fluffies. See all these fluffies on me? Everywhere. So... keep this one inside out, right side out. Remember, right sides together. What we're going to do is put the cheetah into the blue yarn. This one looks kind of pointy, but you know what? I'll show you a trick with the ears and the points and how to manipulate them for your own benefit. So this one I'll probably put pins in. Where's my tomato? Tomato with pins. I am going to pin the seams together. So we got seams on one side. And then... How did I do it? Okay. I don't know. I almost confused myself. The seams on the other side. What are you looking at? Why do you think this is crazy? She's like, are you making a hat that mocks my being, myself? All right, so the blue one doesn't, or blue-green, I don't know what this is, doesn't stretch as much as I thought it would, but I'm going to stretch as much as I can because the cheetah one is a little bit bigger. So stretch it as much as I can, and then pin these, so like I line up the seams in half, and then I'll pin these halves. And then, hear me out. Stella's like, are you trying to teach me how to sew? Who the hell are you talking to? So the key is not to sew it all the way around because we're going to flip it inside out. You're such a good student. You're so good at listening. You're like the best student in the whole entire classroom. Oh my goodness. Okay. Fine, no kisses. So I start with like one seam and I go all the way around, and I'm gonna put a pin about, depending on how stretchy your fabric is, to be honest. You want a bigger space for non-stretchy fabric so you can flip it inside out. Less space for stretchy fabric. So I'm gonna probably do like, I don't know, 1.5 inches. And I'm going to put a pin right there so that when I go around, I'm actually going to put a double pin. When I go around, I know to stop right here. All right, so now we're going to start right here. If your sewing machine does this, go ahead and take this off and then put... I kind of did it backwards because I want to stop here. I want to start here and stop there. I'm just going to go on this side of the pin. I don't know if that just confused you. So you're going to put the hat like around this thing, this little sewing machine thing. And then, come on. And then you're going to put it under, and we're going to use a zigzag stitch. We're back at a zigzag stitch. The only thing with zigzag stitch that can be kind of annoying is it just uses so much more thread. And then we're going to like pull it through so that it's tight on this side and like tight right here so that you can see that there's no like, I don't know if you can see that like it kind of, you know, bubbles up right here. You want to make sure it's straight and it kind of like lines up. All right. And then I always keep my little tomato right next to me so that when I start and I take out a pin, I can just stab it into that tomato. All right. I'm gonna go a little faster because I'm impatient and I want to get this done. And I'm going a little bit higher because there's like these rows of yarn on this hat, and I'm trying to hit this row of yarn. So the seam allowance is just a little bit larger than like a 1/4 inch. Okay. Remember to press down so that you don't get caught up in the damn yarn. We're coming up on that seam. I'm going to pull it through to make sure it's tight and lined up. And then also where you put the pins at, you can use that as a guide to hold to keep that straight instead of like going all the way to the other seam. All right. Come on. And also sometimes, okay, I'm going to take that pin out. Sometimes with thicker fabric, it's harder for your foot to kind of like jump over it. So it's okay to kind of push down and guide it through. And pull a tiny bit. You don't want to pull too hard. You don't want to like try to control the sewing machine too much. Otherwise, you're just going to like break thread, mess up the way it's grabbing the bobbin thread. It's just the way, yeah, it's just how it goes. Okay, pulling out the other pin, lining that up, and then I'm gonna go to, so I started with that double pin. I'm gonna take the double pins out because I started on the other side of them. So I'm gonna stop right after the double seam, where the seams line up. Oh my gosh. My biggest thing is I'll leave my foot on, like right above my pedal, and then I'll just accidentally touch my pedal. We're gonna make sure these are straight, line them up. Make sure you press down so that the yarn doesn't go through. Pull it straight. Make sure it lines up. Ooh, don't forget to fix your posture. Don't forget to fix your posture. Okay. So as soon as I get over the seam, come on. I'm going to, okay, come on. It's gonna get really bulky. If it's, you know, like I should be slowing it down so that I don't break a thread and I can get over this hump. But you know what? I'm better than that. Give it a little reverse stitch. Go ahead and cut it. And now, where that little hole is, I like to reach in and I like to grab an ear. And I start with one ear and I pull it, and then till it's mainly all the way out, and then I'll reach in with my 2 fingers in that little hole. And if the hole's not big enough, go ahead and use a seam ripper and make it a little bit bigger. Sometimes you just got to do that. Pull it through, pull the other ear through, slowly flip it inside out. You can use your thumbs to kind of shove in that hole. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yay! Look at that. Okay, now you got two hats connected with one seam. And then I'm going to put a hat into the, I'm going to put this hat, this seems easier to put this hat into this hat. I'm putting this hat into this hat. Putting this hat into this hat. This hat is sticking out of that hat. Okay, so now to fix that hole, we're going to go all the way around the bottom. Here's the hole. Oh my gosh, what was that? Oh, it was my tomato. Here's the hole. And that's all I have to say. We are going to do straight stitch. I'm at also, the whole time I've been at a 2.5 thread length. Okay. Line it up. It should just automatically just like fold inside pretty nicely. If you can see, like fold inside pretty nicely. And then you're gonna just line it up. I don't know why I put this on. You're gonna put that hat around again. And you're gonna sew all the way around that hem. You don't have to sew all the way around it if you don't want to. You can just sew the hole. But I just like to sew all the way around it. Alright, okay. I don't like that this is white thread though. That's gonna bother me. It's okay, you can already see this white thread. I'm just gonna stick with the white thread. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna stick with the white thread. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a straight stitch. I just think it looks better. With this, you could do a zigzag stitch. It might not look too bad. I don't know, I can't decide. No, I think I want to do a straight stitch. Alright. Make sure that hole is laying flat. Try to get to like the edge of the hem too. Just kind of makes it sit better. Oh, this is going to be thick. This is going to be thick. So I'm going to slow it down and I'm going to go bigger on the length of my thing. I'm going to 3.5. Slowing it down all the way. Guiding. Slowly. Slowly guiding. Don't break a needle. Don't break a thread. Don't clog that shit. Alright. Now that I'm over that hump, I'm going to go back to 2.5. Going to go a little bit faster. Oh, what is that? What are you doing? What are you there for? I always just try to make sure this is sitting flat on the inside and the outside. Pressure on your fabric is always like the way to go. Come on. Keep it going. Alright, we're coming to another hump. Come on. Make sure this side is getting pulled through. No one has said anything, right? No. One thing to make sure you check is that the bobbin, I didn't even teach you how to put in a bobbin. I didn't even teach you how to do anything. How about next lesson I will make sure I teach you how to do a bobbin and a thread and thread the thing, because I didn't do that. Just double check every once in a while that your bobbin hasn't run out. We're almost there. You can do it. Almost there. Alright, we made it back around. We're gonna do a reverse stitch, a forward stitch because that was ugly. Cut it on off. Oh my gosh, are you guys excited to try on your new hat? What was that? What was that? Alright, some of this has got to go. Like that. Alright, where's the thread? Cut it off. Cut off the thread. Alright. You guys ready? How long has it been? It's been like 45 minutes. I was hoping to get through 2 hats. But you know what? When you teach someone how to do a hat, this is usually how it works. I was going to do 2 hours of this, but it's right on. I just want you to... Alright. Are you ready? Should I be doing my lives like straight up and down, like horizontal? Is that how people do lives, is horizontally? I mean vertically? I don't know. We're gonna do vertically. I guess maybe I'll see how this downloads, see how it uploads, and like go from there. I don't know. Alright, so if your ears, first off, let's try it on. Oh, it's a little tight. Oh, it's a really warm though. I like can't hear anything. This is annoying. I'm gonna tuck you in. If your ears aren't doing what you need to do, you can just like push them in. Push them in, pull them out. It's not really tight, but it's honestly really cute. Okay, now to flip it inside out. That really like made me feel like I couldn't hear anything. To flip it inside out. What you doing, Bella? Poke these out a little bit. Cute. It's so thick. Oh my gosh. Cute. Okay, this is going to be on my website. Maybe it's not going to be on my website. I hate putting things on my website. It's just so much work. So I might just post it if you want to purchase it. No. Boop, shaboop. This is really cute. Alright, well, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's 1:08. I guess, yeah, that took me, what, 15 minutes? And I don't know if I want to do another live. Another hat. I think that'll just take too long because the next hat is like a next step up. So tomorrow we'll do the next hat. And then we'll go from there. And if there's anything that you want me to make, teach you how to make, then we'll do that. Actually, real quick, before I get off live, this is such a cute hat. I'm happy with the way it turned out. Before I get off live, I have that pile that I showed you of all of my things. And I am going to do one thing. I need to do like one thing a day in order to get through this pile. So this is a really cute sweatshirt, but I cut off a piece of thread and then it started unraveling and there's a hole somewhere. I think. Where's the hole? Pretty sure that's what happened. Yep. Very small hole, but enough to bother me, and I'm afraid that it's gonna... Where is it? Go through it, like, do it again. So, I'm just gonna do a little zigzag on the back. I already have white thread in my sewing machine, which is nice. And then I'll be able to bring this upstairs, and I'll have one last thing to do on my thingamabob. On my pile of stuff. So where is it? Where's the hole? Where's the hole? Where's it? There's the hole. Okay. I'll set you up over here, I guess. For now, because I don't know what to do with this vertical. I just touched my lipstick. Cool. Way to go. What? How in the world? Okay, zigzag. We're gonna do 5 and 1. Yeah, 5 and 1. Actually, I think we're gonna do like .8. Just to keep it real tight. Real tight. I was like, where's the hole? Oh, right where my lipstick is. Thank God this was inside out. I'm gonna kind of squish it together. I'm gonna squish the fabric together. I'm gonna start with a reverse stitch. Squish together. I think I need it to be bigger. We're gonna go all the way up to 7. Just make sure it's getting both sides of the hole. Perfect. Now reverse stitch a little bit, forward stitch, and cut it off. Cuts that off. Cuts that off. So I think this took me 2 seconds, and it's been sitting down here since like last year. Wow, I did get a little lipstick on the side. How did I do that? Cut it off. You can barely tell. See? See the zigzag? It is zigzag. There we go. Perfect. Cute. I don't like... The one thing I kind of want to do, I wonder if I have a... crochet hook down here, because these... I don't like that. I want to tuck them into... Or I can hook a black thread and just zigzag over them. There's like 5 of them I want to do. Why don't I just do that real quick? Alright. This will be me teaching you guys how to thread a machine. Okay. I'm going to try to keep it vertical. Alright. So I have thread that's too big. And you just need like a little tripod. And what if I use my water cup? I'm just angle this towards you for now. So I have like a thread that's too big. So what I do is I just set it on the back of my machine, where when I pull it, it's rolling towards my machine, and then I put it around the white thing that I have sticking up. Not everybody has that. And then most of your machines will tell you, like, let me turn this around, what step 1 is. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Let me turn that off. Step 6. I'm holding this with my chin right now, but that don't really work. Hold on, let me try again. There's a little thing right there. You're gonna go around, and then let me turn it around again. And then I'm gonna cut off that excess. Turn on the light. I like to just lick my fingers and just touch, like just press on the end of the thread. And then I always like set my hand down to like be steady, set my presser foot down so that I have more room, and then it usually goes into the hole of the needle pretty efficiently. Okay, and then you're going to put it under the presser foot, the thread under the presser foot. Okay, back to zigzag. we're gonna go all the way up to 7, down to just like one, I think. And then we're gonna take this guy out. And we're gonna do the damn thing. Oh gosh, I accidentally pressed it. I tell you, I always get my phone. I need a tiny little tripod so that you can see what I'm doing. I just set it on my water bottle. Maybe that's kind of working. Alright, reverse, forward. Alright, reverse, cut. Oh yeah, with this thread. Oh no, I clicked a button. No. Oh, I was like totally pressing the wrong button. I think we're gonna go back to 1. With this, it pulls too much tension because it, like, the thread is all the way in the back, if you can see it right there. So I have to like pull it before I cut it. Okay, next. It says beads on it, so I'm gonna try not to hit the beads. I think I hit the bead. Needle down so that I can rotate it. I just hit like 3 beads. Okay, needle down so that when I put the presser foot up, I can shove this thread in there. Reverse, cut. Oh, I didn't pull the thing. It should be fine. Okay, on to the next. That wasn't super flawless, but what can you do? Reverse. Needle down. Totally hit a bead. Needle down. Reverse. Cut. Okay, 2 more to go. This is only a little one. I don't have to do the whole thing. Reverse. Reverse. Pull, cut. Alright. Shove the thread yarn in there. Reverse. Forward. Reverse. Pull, cut. Yay. I don't like that some of the thread is still sticking out, or some of the like yarn is still sticking out. Like this one. But that's okay. It's not doing no well. Cut off the inside. Damn, look at that. Look at all that stuff in there. Probably not going to cut off any of the yarn because I'm afraid it's just going to unravel. Alright. Yay, maybe I'll wear this today. It's so cute. It was $9.49. $10. And I'm pretty sure I created that hole on accident because I cut a piece of yarn off. Beautiful. Look how cute it is. For $10? I mean, come on. Look how cute it is. Oh, it's adorable. Probably doesn't go with these pants. I barely like this outfit. Alright. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day. Bye. See you tomorrow.